What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Big Daddy Chad's Kitchen. To give you a short background about myself, I have a degree in culinary arts and I love to lift. And with this series, I get to do both. Tonight, I'm making a pretty tasty meal that I created myself. It's my turkey marinara with zucchini noodles. It's low carb and it's friggin' tasty. Starting out with the marinara sauce, we're gonna add a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of sliced mushrooms, a little bit of diced green bell pepper. And guys, let's keep the heat low, okay? Keep the heat low in the pan. All we're doing is sweating the vegetables. We're not gonna brown them, we're not gonna cook them, we're not gonna saute them, we're gonna lightly sweat them. So you can bring the temperature up. As soon as you put the vegetables in, drop it down. There's about 3 or 4 settings. For myself, I try to stay away from sodium. Otherwise I bloat and I look horrendous. So when I'm cooking, I normally only work with pepper. There's enough sodium in the food naturally to where it evens out. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt, that's okay, but normally I start out with black pepper. So again, we're just sweating these vegetables. Throw a little black pepper in there, grind it up. You got the bell peppers, you got the sliced mushrooms, you got a little bit of garlic. The more the better. So you're just gonna dice that garlic up however you want. You can mince it, you can crush it. I just sliced it myself. I'll throw that in there. And guys, remember, garlic burns very quickly, extremely quickly. So keep the heat low and continually stir the vegetables. Again, all we're doing is sweating the vegetables. If you want to add a little bit more olive oil in there, go right ahead. So this is the base. This is the base for the marinara. Basically, it's called a mirepoix. And this is going to be the bowels, as you say, of the marinara. It's going to be the heart of it. So you got the mushrooms, you got the bell peppers, you got the garlic. While that's sweating, let me show you what makes the rest of the sauce. You got crushed tomatoes, you got tomato sauce, you got diced tomatoes, and you have tomato paste. The reason I use all 4 for my sauce is I like all the different textures. Okay? So you can use 1, you can use 2, you can use all 4. Again, I use all 4 because I like the different textures of the sauces, of the tomato basically. So again, keep this stirring. Don't burn it. You just want to sweat those vegetables. Once you have them sweated through, take each sauce, throw it right on in there. Throw all at the same time. You don't have to, there's no real special order. You can throw them all in at the same time. And I like to, guys, when I'm making my sauce, I like to throw a little bit of brown sugar in there. A little bit of red wine even. Now that's not the healthiest, I know. But a little bit of red wine in that sauce is going to make it pretty friggin' delicious. So stir that up. You can bring the heat up now. You want to bring it to a boil. Bring the sauce to a boil. So kick the heat up a little bit. You got a little bit of brown sugar. Maybe, I'm grabbing with my hand, about a tablespoon. Throw that in. Stir it in. And again, a little bit of red wine is not going to hurt. It's just going to accent the sauce. Slowly pour that in. Use maybe a shot glass worth. Stir that in. Again, bring it up. I get it on the high. You're going to bring the sauce to a boil. Once you bring it to a boil, drop the heat again. You can let it simmer. Now understand, when I get home from work, last thing I want to do is spend 2 hours cooking my meal. So you can let this sit for 30 minutes. You can let it sit for 2 hours. For me, I'll probably let it sit for 30 minutes. The longer you let it rest though, the stronger the flavor is going to be, the tastier it's going to be. So given tomorrow, let it sit overnight, you know, sat all night, it's going to be unreal tomorrow. You know, it'll be tasty tonight, but the longer it sits, the better it gets. That's to a boil. I'm dropping the heat down now. So the next phase of this, of my marinara sauce, I'm incorporating ground turkey. You can do ground beef, you can do ground chicken, you can do ground pork, whatever you want. But I'm using turkey tonight. So I got Nature's Promise, 94% lean with 6% fat, ground turkey. It's pretty tasty, personal favorite. So with the turkey, you want to bring the pan. I use non-stick, so I don't have to mess with olive oil. Bring it to a high, 7. Got the turkey. Drop it all in. You can use a little bit of black pepper. I like to stay away from the salt because it bloats me up. Looks like a fat bastard. So you can bring that heat to high. You get a spoon. I'm gonna break that up. Let it cook evenly. Don't keep it in a block. I like to break it up. Almost like you're making fajitas. At this point, guys, I like to add a little bit of oregano to the sauce. You can add it while you're sweating the vegetables, while you're sweating the mirepoix, or you can add it now. Add a little bit of oregano for flavor. You can judge. Oregano's strong, guys, so be careful with how much you put in. You can't bring the flavors out. Once you put the flavors in, it's a wrap. So I like to ease in the flavors. Ease it in. It's the same idea with salt. Put a whole boatload of salt in, you can't eat it. It's spoiled. Let the flavors ease in slowly. So you got the ground turkey cooking. And for the sake of time, guys, I'll keep it short. But you have to let the turkey cook to an internal temperature of about 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, it's ground, okay? So it's going to cook a lot faster, and it's going to cook a lot more evenly than if you had it in like a patty or a ball or anything like that. So you got the ground turkey, you're cooking that. Normally you can tell, depending on what setting you have it on, I have about medium-high heat right now. It'll take maybe 10-15 minutes to cook evenly. Once you have it cooked evenly, throw that ground turkey back into your marinara sauce, okay? And again, you can let it simmer for 30 minutes, or you can let it simmer for 2 days. It's up to you. As far as zucchini goes, I have some here already prepared for you. But basically I have from Kitchen Supreme, but it's basically a vegetable slicer. So you hold it here, and check it out. I'll do it over this. It basically slices it up. Guys, when I make my marinara sauce, I use vegetables for my pasta. Because for me personally, my genetics, if I eat a lot of carbs, see that, looks like pasta. If I, you know, right now, if I was to have actual pasta instead of the zucchini, I'd be 500 pounds. The way my body reacts, I have to stay away from it. Now, everybody's different. But for me, this is what I do. It's fantastic. The zucchini is. What you do is I throw in a little bit of hot water. You can put a little bit of salt in the hot water, but I blanch the noodles for about 3 to 4 minutes. If you like it al dente, which means it's a crispier crispier noodle, then you keep it in a little bit shorter. If you want it a little bit, you know, softer noodle, you take it out, or you leave it in longer. You got. Spot on, spot on. So there you have it, guys. My ground turkey marinara, zucchini noodles, delicious, healthy, low cost, and I'll incorporate the budget of the food in my next couple episodes if you like to see how much I paid for it. But off the top of my head, I paid for it. This whole setup, it was under 25 bucks, I think. Here, guys, my last tip before we end the episode. When you feel full, stop eating. Yes, this is a healthy meal. It's delicious and it's good for you. But when you're full, step away from the plate. And there you have it. So guys, thanks for tuning in to Big Daddy Chad's Kitchen. And I'll see you in the next episode.